Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Saw 3. Now, this right here is where my memory of the Saw movies overall gets a little bit fuzzy. Saw 1 and 2 are classics for me. I really just enjoy those movies, and I think they're great. And when it comes to Saw 3, I really didn't remember having any specific feeling towards this movie, just that it was a Saw movie, and I liked it because I liked the first two. So watching it again, I was curious to see how I would feel now, if I'm a little bit more judgmental, if I'm a little bit more whatever about it, whatever it may be. And my feelings on it are pretty clear, and I'm going to keep it pretty simple, well, like I usually do. But when it comes to Saw 3, I feel like it's just a Saw sequel. Very vague, I know, but basically what I mean is these movies start to hit a formula. I mean, even the first and second one, obviously there is a formula there with it. That's for some reason a weird word for me to say. But really what I'm saying is just that it doesn't do anything significantly better than 1 or 2. It does do certain things better in some spots, I would say mainly with Amanda's character. But other than Amanda, there's really nothing that, floats my biscuit that heavily. I mean, Jigsaw is Jigsaw. Gotta love Tobin Bella's Jigsaw. I mean, that's never not gonna be cool to see him play that character because he's so good at it. The traps get a little bit more elaborate in this movie, and I do like that. I mean, everybody likes the fucking traps just as you go from movie to movie. It's almost like Fast and Furious, where you get the crazier and crazier action scenes in Fast and Furious. You get the more nutty and fucked up traps. But Jigsaw and the traps are Saw staples. Amanda is the only one that really feels like for this movie, you're not gonna see it in any other movie, if that makes any sense. Like, this is where she feels the most fleshed out, the most screen time, and the most connected I've felt to pretty much any character in the series, because it's not like I'm feeling an emotional connection to fucking Jigsaw. The dude's a fucking psychopath, and in the first 3 movies, they never give you any sort of redeeming quality. They're like, hey, he's dying of cancer. It's like, so you get to murder people? So it was a cool breath of fresh air to actually understand why somebody was the way that they were, where, I know that they go into more Jigsaw's backstory or whatever in the sequels, but for these 3 movies, you don't get shit, and Amanda is the only character that actually feels fleshed out in these first 3, and I feel like that's a big plus and the biggest plus to this movie, for sure. My negatives for this movie, though, are definitely that the problem of the first movie returns, where it just gets kind of boring and the pacing really takes its time, and I really don't necessarily love the direction that they went with the people in the traps. There is an interesting story there, but I feel like it's kind of a cheap way to pull at your heartstrings a little bit, and it doesn't really do its job in getting me invested in those characters, and for that, I just didn't really care about them. So when the end of the movie hits, I really didn't give that much of a shit about those characters, or at least enough to really care what was going on. I was actually just, again, more interested in Amanda and Jigsaw, which is fine, but half the movie is with these other 2 characters that, again, I just wasn't really that into. But I mean, other than that, I enjoyed my time with it, man. I sat down to watch all these movies all the way through. I knew there were going to be some ones I didn't like as much as others. That's obvious, and I don't like Saw 3 as much as 2 or 1, but I definitely would recommend it to Saw fans. It's not one of those sequels that even people that love like the original movies are like, ew, that one's horrible, we're going to disown it, I'm going to skip it in marathons. It's nothing like that, man. It's a solid sequel, and I feel like if you've invested enough of your time to watch the first 2, then there's definitely enough here to sink your teeth into the third one. So that's going to go ahead and do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what you thought, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.